I've just come from. From Mar-a-Lago to Celtic Manor, good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I have to say, I was really, really deeply honoured to be in the ballroom at Mar-a-Lago with now President-elect Trump. And his family, and his friends, and his close supporters. And to be in that room, there were no press, there were no cameras. It was just a watch party, and there was food, and there were even some drinks, I think. I can't quite remember. And as the results came through, and everybody was whooping it up, there was Trump just sitting there, eating an ice cream, completely laid back. But what has happened in America in the last few days is what happens when you get a political movement with a strong political leader that actually talks to the electorate about the things that they care about and not what mainstream media discuss, not what politicians in Westminster, or dare we say, Cardiff, discuss. So it really has been a truly stunning victory, and he focused, of course, mostly on the cost of living, on the southern border, illegal immigration, and I think we can also quite safely say that on the day of the inauguration, in America, woke has died, and thank God for that. And whether you like Trump's style or not, and many don't, many find him a bit outlandish, a bit too New York for their tastes. But whether he is or not, isn't it good for our country that we now have a president of a country that is our most important relationship in the world? America, the biggest overseas investor in Britain. Britain still, unbelievably, the biggest overseas investor there. A vital partner for investment, for trade. A country with whom we share huge levels of intelligence. A country without which, folks, we would be literally defenseless in an increasingly dangerous world. And I think to have a president that is pro-British after 4 years of the ghastly Biden is a great opportunity for our nation. I really do. Now, whether a Labour Party that has people like Sadiq Khan in it, who has waged a 10-year feud, or a foreign secretary like David Lammy, who has said the most disobliging things, or a Labour Party that sent 100 of its staffers to campaign for Kamala Harris. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a greater diplomatic stupidity than that? So all I've said is that I have a relationship with Trump, but equally, I will know well at least half of his incoming cabinet, and I've said that if I can in any way help to mend fences between this Labour administration and the incoming Trump administration, that I will do so. And not because I support a single thing this Labour government's doing. In fact, fewer and fewer people in the country support anything this Labour administration's doing, but I would do so because it is in the national interest, and that is the right thing for me to do. Now, I was asked a few minutes ago on an American network whether Sir Keir Starmer had got off to an uncertain start as British Prime Minister. I said no. No, there's no doubt at all. He has got off to the worst start of any Prime Minister in living memory. They are a complete shower. They are about to try and destroy the family farm. Just this morning I was walking the dogs and I met the local lady from the farm. She said, we're 6 generations. We have a 13-year-old son. What are we going to do? Can you imagine the impact in Wales on family farms that have been there for generations? So they're attacking anybody that has land. They're attacking anybody that has savings. They don't seem to think that success is a good thing. They talk about 4-day weeks, work from home, life-work balance. Oh, we're so much more productive at home, darling. It's all nonsense. This country, we are in economic decline. We are getting poorer with every single year that passes. Our national debt tripled under the Conservatives. Individually, the gross domestic product measure of our individual wealth has fallen for 6 of the last 8 quarters. We are in societal decline, where crimes like shoplifting are now almost ignored, where Class A drug use is completely out of control, and yet the instincts of a Labour government are to ban us having a cigarette in a pub garden. They have no understanding of the 5.5 million men and women that run their own businesses, that act as sole traders. This budget punishes anybody that does their own thing, punishes anybody that works in the private sector. But if you work in Whitehall, if you work for the government, if you work in the public sector, your job is secure and your pension with it. These are all recipes to make our country poorer. And we've got to be the party that stands up for innovation. We've got to be the party that stands up for men and women who've got the courage to go on their own, set up their own businesses. And we've got to be the party that tells young people if they want to succeed in life, they've actually got to buckle down, work hard, and we've got to be the party that says success is a good thing and not a bad thing. And it's been funny, you know, being a member of this Parliament after spending over 20 years in the other Parliament. At the moment, they're being politer to me in the Westminster Parliament than they were in the European Parliament. But hopefully that won't last. Although I will say one thing. I do think having Sir Lindsay Hoyle there as the Speaker, compared to that ghastly little pipsqueak Burko that went before, is an improvement. And indeed, he's already invited Donald Trump to come and speak to both houses of Parliament next year, which is a good thing. But our decline, economically and socially, can be put down, above all, to one thing: mass immigration into our country, scale that could never even have been imagined. Never been imagined. a population increase of 10 million in the last 20 years alone, and 85% of that down to immigration. Is it any wonder you can't get a GP appointment? Is it any wonder your kids and grandkids find it all but impossible to get on the housing ladder? Is it any wonder that in many of our towns and cities, the sense of community, the sense of belonging, the sense of togetherness is breaking down? And yet none of them even want to talk about it. And when the Conservatives, well, they're called Conservatives, when the Conservatives even dare touch on these issues, how can they from their own hypocritical position? Wales voted Brexit decisively. Decisively. And it did it, amongst other things, to reduce the sheer numbers of people coming into Britain, and yet under the Conservatives it reached levels of double that even occurred under Tony Blair. There are 5 of us that have been elected from this party into that parliament. And I think, I can honestly say, that the other 4, and you've seen, I think Lee's been here earlier, hasn't he? He's always so dull, isn't he? I can't work it out. The other 4 are really putting in a huge stint. I'm putting in less of a stint because I'm a national party leader. And I'm a national party leader that comes to Wales today with the quite astonishing poll figures that have been released overnight. We are already well ahead of the Conservative Party in Wales. But of course, the Conservative Party have a new leader who's picked her shadow cabinet. A cabinet of total non-entities. To be honest, I haven't heard of any of them, apart from Priti Patel perhaps. The truth is, they are split down the middle. There are some in the party that think the way we do. There are others that are Blairites or Liberal Democrats. Our job in Wales, as we approach those Senate elections in 2026, our job in Wales, your job in Wales, is for us to be the leading party of opposition here that challenges the Labour Party. And we can do it. We nearly won Llanelli in the general election. We are polling today at 26% of the vote in the valleys, and we haven't even started. So for over 100 years, Labour have been the dominant party in Wales. And since devolution, you've had a continuous Labour government. And what has it bought you? Keep it clean. I can't. An NHS that is performing literally doubly as badly as the NHS in England. Failing education. Crackpot. And I mean crackpot. Wokery. I mean, the thought that Lloyd George's former home is going to become LGBT friendly goes slightly against the odds of the man's record, if I can leave it as politely as that. Diversity equality and inclusion running through all forms of public sector governance in Wales. Well, do you know what we say? We don't care what colour you are. We don't care what religion you are. We are not in the least bit interested in what you do in the bedroom. We don't care. We will judge you. We will judge you as a human being. We will judge you. Are you somebody that fits in with our community? Are you somebody that shares our values? Are you somebody that obeys the laws and pays your now over-inflated taxes? We do not believe in this reverse discrimination that is going on, because all it is doing is dividing the country. And that's what Labour's about. It's about two-tier Britain. Two-tier divisive Britain. And I could go on a list of failures, but is how completely out of touch they are with reality. The imposition of 20-mile-per-hour speed limits. And wasn't that amazing that that petition that was put up against it, just in Wales, got nearly 500,000 signatures? We could add to that the damage that national policy is doing to Wales. What is happening at Port Talbot is an absolute disgrace. Wales will cease to be a producer of primary steel. Instead, there'll be a new green steel plant reprocessing second-hand steel, which is not the same as the main thing. And frankly, on net zero, I think this government, this national government, is in very, very big trouble. Ed Miliband, I mean, who thought he was coming back, you know? I mean, he made such a mess of it last time, I can't believe they wanted him back. Ed Miliband promised that green energy would cut household bills by £300 a year. That was in their manifesto. In fact, if you look at the 171 wind farm auctions that have been successful, both onshore and offshore, the strike prices are about double the current going rate. We are guaranteed much more expensive electricity over the course of the next 10 years. And we're relying more and more on a form of energy that is intermittent. Had you noticed the wind has hardly blown for the last week? This stuff doesn't work. And we only keep the lights on by now importing from Norway and from the continent 12% of our energy needs. At any point, if there was a problem in Europe or Norway, the lights could literally go out. Our manufacturers have the most expensive electricity in the world. Your domestic bills are 2.5 times that in America. And what we're calling for, and what we'll fight for, is sensible energy and environmental policy. This country must be self-sufficient in energy. It must be. We will be the party that can bring down people's household bills. We'll be the party that says we cannot go on with massive increases in immigration. It is damaging the quality of life of virtually everybody that is living in this country. And the other big issue that enrages people because of its sense of unfairness are the young men crossing the English Channel in dinghies. now over 140,000 of them. And these are not, as the BBC might tell you, poor, desperate people. Increasingly, they're aggressive young males coming into our country to get involved directly in criminality. We've even got one charming one at the moment who's arrived with a Kalashnikov on his face, who's threatening to kill me. He's not alone in wanting that, obviously, but there's no end in sight. Starmer won't smash the gangs. The Conservatives made promises they could never, ever keep. And the reason people are enraged by it is because they seem to get everything for free, whilst homemade Brits don't. And it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. In the London Assembly this week, there was a motion passed to urge Mayor Khan to give asylum seekers, i.e. those that have come illegally and claimed asylum, free travel on London buses. Supported by the Liberal Democrats, the Labour Party, the Greens, and the Conservatives abstained. Which just about sums up what a wet weekend of a political party the Conservative Party now are. Only Reform voted against that lunacy as bus fares go up right across the country. And we will not tolerate living in a two-tier society. We will not tolerate living in a society where British people get put to the back of the queue and those that come illegally are given everything out of our massive taxes. We won't do that. I came back into this in early June of this year. Well, you say thank you. I mean, life had been going pretty well, you know. Just won News Presenter of the Year 2 years in a row. Thank you. I didn't get that cheer from Piers Morgan, but never mind. And I was making money, not much pressure, weekends off. But I have thrown myself back into it because the 27 years of my life that it took to campaign, to want us to leave the European Union, to want us to get back the independence, self-governance, and self-respect of our country, to honor those who'd gone before and made massive sacrifices so that we and the rest of Europe could live in free nation-state democracies. And I looked at how abjectly the Conservatives had used that historic opportunity, the fact that Labour would be even worse. And I realized that it was worse even than that. That all the values, all the things that I care about, and all the things I think that you care about, and the silent majority out there. And by the way, don't doubt, there is still a silent majority for common sense in our nation. It's out there. And so I came back into politics on June the 3rd this year, determined to fight for the values that represent family, community, and country. They're the things that I care about. I believe they're the things that you care about. I believe they're the things the vast majority of our fellow citizens care about. And our job is to provide for them a respectable, decent political party that they can vote for, that can go on and win the 2029 general election Now, history says it's impossible. But I'd like £1 for every time I was told during those 27 years that to fight to leave the European Union, I was wasting my life and wasting my time. Well, as I said to the European Parliament the morning afterwards, you all laughed at me, but you're not laughing now, are you? I see, and I feel in this room today a sense of energy, a sense of optimism, a sense that we genuinely can do this, that we genuinely can change things for the better. Our job in Reform UK is not to moan about how badly things have gone, but to fight to put different people with different ideas, with good values, with good principles, in charge of our once great nation and turn the ship of state around. Now, I am delighted at the progress our small team in Wales have made already. You're getting on with the job. Because winning elections isn't just about having good ideas. Winning elections is about having a party machine. Winning elections is about a volunteer army. Winning elections is about the power of word of mouth. Talking to people. Talking to people. You know, whether it's at the local GP surgery. No, sorry, they've all closed. Whether it's, playing bingo, playing bridge, talking to people, explaining to them what reform is, why you're part of it, why they need to be a part of it. These are all the things that make for successful politics. Going around the pubs. I've been doing it. Selflessly for decades. Talking to people. Building a people's army and having good men and good women prepared to put themselves up to be candidates, in this case in particular, for those Senate elections in 2026. Now, it so happens they've increased the size from 60 to 96. It may be mad, but it's happening. So why don't we turn that to our advantage? Why don't we use that to our advantage? So what we will need 96 people on 16 six-man and woman lists in all of the divisions in Wales. We need people, you, there today. If you think it's something that you want to do, please put your name forward. But I need all of you. I need all of you in whatever way you can to get involved with this People's Army, to join us, to join the local branches, to put yourself forward for treasurer, or whatever it may be, to put yourself forward to be a leaflet stuffer, a phone call maker. It doesn't matter what it is. We will succeed if we organize and mobilize. We will succeed if we professionalize. We will break every political, historical record you have ever seen in this country, because I know that the gap in the political market is enormous, and I sense it might just be bigger in Wales than it is in any other part of the United Kingdom. So when I've finished, there are 15 tables out in that hall from each of the geographical locations that you've come from. I want you, please, if you want to help us to succeed, when I've finished, to go out there, go to the relevant table, meet people that live in your constituency, meet people that live in your neighborhood. Give us your name, give us your phone number, give us your email, and we will put together sound organisation on the ground right across Wales, and it's from that we can support our candidates. It's from that we can start delivering recruitment leaflets through doors, and they'll work. And by the way, isn't it incredible that we've gone up now to 96,000 members of this party? And we're growing every day. We're growing by hundreds every day. And all of these things have happened before we have an army on the ground, before we're delivering millions of leaflets. These things are happening because people online and elsewhere are sharing the story of optimism and hope, of difference that we represent against the total failures of the Labour and Conservative parties. Just think, if all of you in this room get involved and engaged, just think where we'll be in a year's time in Wales. Just think where we'll be when those elections here in 2026 come. I've been asked before what my ambitions are. Well, here in Wales, the primary ambition is to be the main challenger to Labour. But frankly, my ambition, sky is the limit. Let's go for it. Let's try and win this. So please, so can I ask you, and by the way, well done to everybody that's put on this brilliant event today. It is superb. Superb. So you've come along here today. Many of you will never have been to a reform meeting before because there haven't been any. Because we're a fledgling. Have you enjoyed your day? Are you inspired by what you've heard and seen? Are you ready to commit to join the People's Army to help us to succeed? Are we going to go on and change the political history of this country? Well, all that